Here on the Pro Channel, we spend plenty of our time ripping the legacy media, and rightfully so. But there are also dark things happening in the new media. And today, we're faced with one of the worst things we've ever seen. One influencer couple with millions of subs just called into question whether or not people with Down syndrome are even worthy of life. And shamefully, it may have all been orchestrated, scripted, and prepared for clicks and clout. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we leave little doubt that we are here to spread the sunshine and do the right thing every time we get the opportunity. Welcome back yet again. And let's dive into the latest drama. And it's ugly, folks. We apologize, but it's ugly. We're going to put the sunlight to it, though. Click the like button. Here we go. I gotta play this first because this is going to get so depraved, so awful, so ugly. You got to see this first. Anna Lula says, throwback to pro-life celebrity Tim Tebow hosting a red carpet event to humanize people with special needs, including children with Down syndrome. Look at this. I can't play the audio, but just look at it, folks. Look at this, how good this is. It turns out that human life is special. Consciousness is amazing. Kindness is great. And being good and kind to those who might be just a little bit different than you. What an amazing thing. What an amazing thing. And we never want to stray into the area that we saw with World War II. Never, ever, ever. There are awful words and awful concepts that involve ableism and deleting those who are not just like you and me, or maybe when that starts to change, even deleting us because others may be in power, right? So we never want to go down that road. Now, Jesse Ridgway at mcjuggernuggets is a YouTuber with his girlfriend, wife. They're a pair, they're a couple, they're a team. And they've done something that I believe is absolutely obscene here, and I'm going to explain why. It's actually worse than what people thought at the beginning, maybe. It says, this week, my wife and I made the very difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy due to, and it lists out here, the likelihood of Down syndrome in the child. It says the choice was not made lightly. We really appreciate all the personal stories that you guys shared with us, especially the unconditional support we received from fans with no matter what we decided. Turns out that, well, you didn't have that kind of unconditional support. And TMZ jumped on this because the whole internet raged at them because this decision was allegedly made at 21 weeks when pregnancies can become viable. So the influencer couple at the center of online controversy after ending a pregnancy followed a Down syndrome diagnosis is open about why they chose to make their story public. I'm not going to play this, folks. I don't want to give these people the time of day. I really, really don't. I'm only doing this story because I need you to see that narcissism, perhaps combined with the scope and scale of the internet, really unlocks Pandora's box for pathology sometimes. And I need you to see this because it's gotten way worse, I think, in the last 24 hours as people have started uncovering what's going on here. Now, remember that this couple here, they get millions of views, right? Millions of views. I think they've been bigger in the past, but their videos today get 10s and 20s and 30s, thousands views per video. Brian Eastwood says, this Jesse and Ashley Ridgway Down syndrome abortion isn't adding up to me. He says, I think they faked the whole thing. I went to mcjuggernuggets YouTube channel, which is Jesse's main channel with over 4 million subscribers. His channel is riddled with controversial and weird, depressing videos. His wife, Ashley, has been the girlfriend, leaving him in a number of videos. There are many videos about bad diagnoses to varying people in his life. How do we know any of this is real? Now, we hesitate to ever go to places like this because, number one, it's a horrible allegation to make, right? Because if you make this kind of an allegation, you're suggesting that these people are so craven that they would fake, a pregnancy, and they would fake the termination, and they would hang on, because it got bad. How bad did it get? Zach Cost, I believe, is the name of this one. Says, well, if you didn't think this could get any worse, think again. Jesse Ridgway and his wife, quote unquote, finding out that their child may have had Down syndrome, which features his wife crying hysterically about it, was recorded and posted on his personal YouTube channel 1 month after he posted his brother telling him the Down syndrome test results on his main channel. This is an acting job, says Zach. They already knew, and he has been grifting off these test results and the deletion of the unborn baby for months now. Okay, so this is where it gets strange, right? If he posted the thing for 1 month in advance, how would she not have known that? What kind of, and if she didn't know it, but it was posted for a month before, here's the thing, folks. This is getting really gross. I don't know if they're faking it. I don't care who these people are. I care the damage that they're doing. And I really do. I'm actually pleased with the reaction they've gotten because I think it's important that we as a society say, no. People with Down syndrome and people with special needs are worthy of love and attention and care. They're worthy of life. They're worthy of living, right? And one of the things here too, folks, is I'll tell you this. One of the highlights, I think, has been that we need to understand as a people, and we need to take this to heart. You don't get to pick, and I don't get to pick, whether or not we have a burden in our life. You can have a child, and that child can get ill. That child can become ill, and they can become disabled. You may become disabled at some point. I may be disabled at some point. Every day that you get on the road, and I get on the road, cars go by us at a very fast speed, and we are always inches away from our lives being forever changed. So the idea that we would terminate something at 21 weeks, and when I say something, I'm being careful about YouTube. I'm not trying to lessen what this is. The idea that we would do that at 21 weeks, based on the idea that it would be a burden, is to completely misunderstand life whatsoever and what the purpose of life is. The purpose of your life is not to run away from burden and responsibility. The purpose of your life is that those things are meaningful and you can't run from them and you will face them. And the harder you run from them, actually, the larger the burden is probably going to be on you because you are so immature that you can't handle anything. I want to show you what these people lost allegedly. Let me show it to you. This is a video that's out there. I'll highlight it. This is a child with Down syndrome. You might just say it's a child. You might do that. And this is a child with his dad. Here it is, folks.
Hey. Wait a minute. I talk to you. No. I love you. No. I love you. No.
So I'm going to let this play just in rotation. We're just going to let it loop for a minute because we need to have a talk for a minute on this. So here's the deal. Everybody listening to Pro right now, here's the deal. If you have a little guy or a little girl like that tell you that they love you, you are as lucky as you will ever be. There is nothing better in this world than a child, your child, and not everybody gets that chance. Some people don't have that chance because of biology. Some people don't get that chance because of, bad luck. Some people don't get that chance because of relationships. To have a child tell you that they love you, to embrace a child who calls you mommy or daddy, there's nothing better in this world. That's it. You hit the lottery every day you wake up. That happens, you hit the lottery. $1 million isn't even close to that. $1 billion isn't even close to that. You can't buy it. It's the greatest thing in the world. And the idea, whether it's true or not, this is what, this is going to get sussed out right now. I'm not the guy. I'm not the investigator to figure it out. I'm just here to tell you that it's getting ugly. The idea that either You did this. You ended this. You took away your chance to have that and used it as a way to get clicks and clout and play the victim. Or even worse, the idea that you did this and you faked it somehow to whatever degree and to whatever level that might be. It's so sickening and so deplorable because here's the deal. If you have a family member now who has Down syndrome, or if you have Down syndrome, the conversation from the side defending these people is whether or not you should live, whether or not your family member should have life. And to me, that's so painful and it's so disgusting, it's so wrong. And so the legacy media makes lots of big mistakes. You know it and I know it. They make lots of horrible mistakes. There's lots of good. There's lots of kindness, as you can see with Tim Tebow and what he did here. But we haven't seen this kind of pathology very often in the new media. And the reaction to it, which is overwhelmingly saying, no, this is actually evil. It's the right thing. Folks, I'm not here to tell you, there are a lot of people out there who have gone through and done things that they regret, or they have different beliefs and views about all this sort of thing. What I would suggest to you is, you are not going to live this life burden-free. And if you run from that, you're going to fail. If your goal is to be burden-free, you will fail. But if the reward for burden is the chance that a little child looks at you and calls you mommy or daddy, mama or dada, and you're their hero, what better thing could there be in this world than the love of a child for you? It's worth more than any gold you can have. It's worth more than any clicks on the internet that you can have from strangers who don't give one rip, one flip about you. And I'm not saying that that's the way it is with every YouTube channel. People build bigger and better and stronger communities. I don't think this guy is doing that. I'll just tell you, I am pleased with the way I think the world is responding to this. And one of the reasons that I'm not putting those examples on the screen right now, and I'm not showing you all of the people and all of the way that they're responding, is simply because every time I do so, I have to put those people back on the screen, and I don't want to do that. Wherever you are, folks, and whatever you've done, and whatever your hopes are for the future, I would just tell you, one of the greatest callings you will ever have, if you are so lucky, is to be a mom or dad. And if you're not given that opportunity, then you could be an aunt or an uncle, or you can be a surrogate parent, or you can step in, you can adopt, you can do these things, because there is an unbelievable joy that is had. And this is the other thing about it. There's a relationship with a child, with your child. There's a relationship there that you will never have with anybody else, ever, never, never. How you act and who you are as a parent really says just about everything about who you are. Final thought, folks. Why do I cover entertainment? Why do we cover stories? Why do we cover myths? Why do we cover entertainment here? One of the big things that we do that for is because we know that a generation is searching for heroes. They're searching for who are their characters they're going to believe in, right? For you, it may have been Luke Skywalker, or maybe you were a Ninja Turtle kid, or maybe you love Batman or Superman, or we can go through all these characters. And as adults, you pick characters that you love. Maybe it's Rocky Balboa that you love, right? We can go through all these characters. One of the reasons that we do what we do is because we want young people, as they rise up through the generations, we want them to have heroes they can aspire to be, to emulate, to grow into. And I would just tell you that if you pay close attention to the biggest heroes, the brightest heroes that you want to be like, it turns out It's those who bear the biggest load and do so with grace and humility and strength and confidence. They're not always perfect, but they bear the biggest load. And the people that you despise the most, the villains of the story, are always those who shirk their responsibility, cheat their way to the top, and try to subvert the way the universe works for their own benefit. And in doing so, become prisoners themselves as they imprison all the others below them. By the way, that's how a dictatorship works. And in story, that's the villain. So, folks, we got some villains out there. I don't want to cast aspersions. I don't want to say that these people are, irredeemable. We would never say that sort of thing. I don't want to tell you that, that I'm for sure they faked the whole thing. I don't know. That'll be sussed out over time. But I'll tell you this. If you do anything that makes people out there with special needs have to ask the question or answer the question whether their life is worth living and whether they should be given the chance to ever be born, boy, did you fail. And there's no number of clicks, there's no number of likes, there's no number of shares, there's no number of subscribes that will ever pay for that kind of pain that you have brought upon others. Whether you did so consciously or unconsciously, whether you did so willingly or unwillingly. And that's the story for today, folks, because we cover entertainment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is really, really ugly. It's not legacy, it's new media. But we're here to say, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just remember, it doesn't matter if you're pretty, you're ugly, you're tall, you're short, whether you're the fastest racer on the court or whether you're a kid who struggled in school and can't get by. It doesn't matter if you're special needs. It doesn't matter if you are somebody who is perfect in every, almost way, because none of us are all the way perfect. You are very important. You matter. And the things you do each day matter. And you are worthy of all that effort people put into you. Maybe not everybody, but you were worthy of the effort that was put into you. I promise you. And maybe more effort should have been put in there. But you were worthy of all of it. And now it's time for the call for you to also put effort into others. Take care of others. Treat all of God's babies the way they should be. And remember, don't run from burdens. There's a Disney quote from Brer Frog I like. You can't run from trouble. Ain't no place that far. So don't try. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and even in spite of some of that ugly, awful stuff, keep having fun.